Hi team, and welcome to this week's episode of the Real Estate Roadmap. I'm very excited today to be joined by two very special guests, Annette Reeve, International Manager of Mayfair International Realty, and Nick Churton, Managing Director of Mayfair International Realty. Annette, Nick, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Well, we are here to announce a very special relationship that we are joining between our brands and Mayfair. And I think it's really important to describe that as a relationship as opposed to some new type of marketing program. And I thought maybe, Nick, you could touch on that a little bit about why it really is a relationship.
We don't really like the word affiliate because affiliate sort of suggests something else. And as far as we're concerned, we're your London office. We're there to create an extra layer of marketing over the one that you have, and to reach into areas, perhaps into Europe and beyond, that it's easier to do from London than it is to do from here.
Right. And why London? Why is that so important? Because it is a real important reason why London kind of serves as that base.
I think London is obviously globally known as a capital, but also London's one of those places where so many people make their base. And we always say that if you look at New York, much of the huge wealth in New York is homegrown. Most of the huge wealth in London is actually from all over the place.
Right.
The Middle East, the Far East, Asia. The actual percentage, which is British, is small, but so many people make their base in London.
And London, you know, up to half the currency transactions in the world will happen in London today.
Wow.
There's more personal wealth in London than any other city in the world. There's more venture capital money in London right at the moment than France, Germany, Italy and Sweden put together. So this is an important world city. The other important thing about London is our media, which is a truly international one. And that's what we really want to work with you on.
And it's interesting because there are some similarities there because, you know, as North Texas has grown over the years, you know, there are so many people who've moved to this area of the country that aren't originally from here. And so it is similar in that respect. There's a lot of languages spoken in North Texas. People that are from all over the world now are moving here because of the economy that's happening here in the state of Texas as well. So it's a really nice combination between what's happening in London and what's happening here in Texas as well.
Yeah, and I think also we've got a lot of education, you know, world-class universities, and from those universities we're exporting talent and so getting into this sort of market is very important.
Yeah, and one of the things that I saw in your materials that really resonated with me was that this is not about a price point.
No.
If the property is important to the agent and their client, then it's important to Mayfair. I think that's a very different than what maybe you see sometimes in other types of international partnerships. It is for a very select price point. So maybe touch on that a little bit.
Because Nick and I have both been in the business for such a long time, we're very tuned to what's good and best for the client. And there's nothing worse than somebody being excluded from something. So we always make sure that all of the agents know that what we do is available at all price points. It's not just $1 million and above or whatever.
Right.
Because we always say what's important for the client is important for us.
Yeah.
Because that's doing the client the best service. And it makes everybody feel included. So to us, it's important.
I love that. Nick, as we're introducing this relationship to all of our agents at Ebby, Dave Perry Miller, and Williams True, what are some of the things that they can kind of expect as that relationship first rolls out and then over time?
I think the two main things just to discuss here are what we can do for an agent in exposing their property, and also underlining to perhaps a seller the reach that you have globally. You know, it's all very well as being on the internet and being able to do that, but actually having boots on the ground and a team that can look specifically at a property and advise how that could be marketed outside the US, and also give some reassurance to a seller. I think reassurance to a seller is really, really important, that they know that their property has reached all the market. Even if you've got an offer and you're wondering whether to take it, if you know that your property has seen the whole market, I think you're reassured that you might be making the right decision.
Well, and I think it's a really great step as what we should be doing in service to our clients. There's other brokerages out there that are actually doing the exact opposite. You know, they're actually hoarding their listings and not sharing them out there and getting the best exposure for their clients. And so I really like heading in this direction, not just what we do to expose properties in North Texas, but how we're exposing them across the country, and then now internationally through Mayfair as well. I mean, I think that's what most sellers are looking for.
I think we've always said what we will do will always be in the interests of the seller.
Yeah.
If it's in the interests of the seller, it's in the interests of the agent.
Yeah.
If it's in the interests of the agent, it's in the interests of the broker, and then ultimately to us. So
Right.
we have to start with the seller.
Yeah. Well, I hope that you felt comfortable today, because I should mention we are in an amazing listing of ours, 3509 Crescent here in Highland Park, which was actually endorsed by Prince Charles himself. So wanted to make you feel at home while you were visiting us here in North Texas. And so I hope you've enjoyed the opportunity to kind of see this listing
Well,
that we have.
we have, and it felt like coming home, because we live in an area north of London, which is quite close to where the actual, the architect who I suppose inspired this house, a man called Voisey, built a lot of houses. So we're very familiar with this look, and yeah, it feels very much at home.
That's great, and another reason why we're in this new relationship with one another.
Great.
So, Annette, Nick, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you very
Annette,
much.
Thank you very much indeed.
We are very excited about rolling this out to our agents and helping our clients get even more exposure internationally.
Well, we're honoured to be part of this firm.
Very great. There'll be a lot more information coming your way about our new partnership and relationship with Mayfair International Realty. Thanks so much for tuning in to this week's edition of the Real Estate Roadmap.